This is going to encompass loading the Achilles tendon, even other tendons in your ankle, tibialis posterior, peroneals. The big key for me, and this is really important, and I say this all the time, is that as we do these things to load muscle, the goal would be to feel it more in the muscle belly and not a whole lot in the tendon. So there's going to be ways that we can manipulate these positions to hopefully accomplish that. It's really important to pay attention to this and not progress through these too quick. Now this video is going to have 3 parts to it. I'm going to go from the harder position to gradually a little less difficult. So if we go to the first one and you say that hurts, there's going to be 2 more options down the line in this video. It'll be a little easier and a little better way that you can manipulate how much force you're putting through your leg. So everybody has a flight of stairs, most people do anyway, so we'll start there. We're going to start with isometrics, then it's going to be moving in a very small range, and then it's going to be going through a larger range, always trying to stay short of the tendon pain or significant discomfort. So as I come to the stairs, first we're looking at an isometric. So if I have my heel off the edge of the stair, I want to try and keep a little bit of pressure through my big toe. If I do a heel raise, I can do it this way where I'm pushing through my big toe, or I can let myself rock to the outside of my ankles. I want to think about keeping that big toe on the ground, even if I feel like I have to lightly squeeze my inner thigh. So phase 1 is going to be heels off the edge. Instead of them dropping into a stretch, I'm going to press into my big toe and I'm just holding. Right in whatever range is most comfortable. So if you have Achilles tendon pain, you're trying to see at what point can you say, all right, I don't feel any tendon pain here. I feel like I can stand here without pain, at least initially. All of these, the goal is minimum of 30 seconds, maximum of 2 minutes. So I start off with even weight on both feet and I'm just holding this position. Now if my left leg is my problem leg, if I'm able to do anywhere between like 1.5 to 2 minutes and I don't feel all that challenged and I have no significant pain in my Achilles tendon, from here, even weight, I'll shift to maybe 75% on my problem leg, 25 on my non-problem leg. So now I'm just putting a little bit more weight on my left side. I'm still just holding an isometric. So if I wasn't doing anything, my heel with gravity would just drop down. I'm just holding this position. You'll notice this right leg, I may even start to let that knee bend a little bit to offload it some. So same thing, it's an isometric hold mid-range, right? If that's fine, third phase will be, now let's see if I can put all the weight on my problem leg, still holding an isometric in whatever range I find to be most comfortable. Same thing, minimum of 30 seconds, maximum of 2 minutes. And then you want to ask yourself as you get to the end of whichever part of that you were in, do you feel like your calf is engaged? Do you feel any burning in your calf? Or do you just feel a lot of tendon pain? So you would stop with this if you start to get fatigue in your calf, or if that tendon pain starts to ramp up. 0 to 10, anything beyond a 3. A little bit of discomfort is okay, as long as it's not getting dramatically worse. But isometric, safest way to start, right? If that's all fine, you get to 2 minutes on one leg, you're feeling fantastic. So next you're going to do the same sequence, but you're going to move in a very small range. So we'll start with even weight on both feet. And I may check and say, all right, as I go up, right there's tendon pain. As I go down, ooh, right there's tendon pain. So I'm going to try and stay in a window well short of both of those. So I'm going to do just a small pulse, pushing through my big toe, even weight on both feet. Same concept, minimum of 30 seconds, maximum of 2 minutes. If that goes fine, it's going to be the same gradual shift, more towards the problem leg. Still making sure I'm pressing through my big toe. And then ultimately this would go to single leg, small range. Same idea. The goal would be hopefully to get to the point where I feel my calf get really tired and I don't feel my Achilles tendon or any of these other areas of my foot start to hurt. Either one would stop me, right? And if I could do over 30 seconds prior to getting the tendon pain, well, that's fine. If you start to get tendon pain, you stop. The goal would be the more you do this, hopefully you get less and less tendon pain, more and more muscle pain. I'm sorry I'm really beating this into the ground, but you have no idea how often I have this conversation. And people think they just need to push through, or if they do more, they'll get better faster. You won't. Your tendon will start to hurt. You'll agitate it. So you want to feel the least amount of tendon, the most amount of muscle, right? And then it's the same progression, just doing it now through more range, right? So if I go even, same thing. If I go up, and then I want to focus on coming down really slow. And I want to see if I can start to get a little bit deeper into a stretch. So I'm just going through more range, and I'm really focusing on an extra slow negative, maybe somewhere in the 3 to 5 seconds, even to 75-25 would be phase 2, and then obviously single leg. So it's a nice little sequence, edge of the stairs. Now, if you're good with the stairs, if you're good, that's it. That's great. Everybody's got stairs. I got a lot of body weight on my foot. That's perfect. If that doesn't go so well, a step that's a little easier than this will be against the wall. I'm not going to go through it as specifically as I did the stairs, but it's the same progression. Leaning on a wall now, there's a little less pressure on my legs because I got some pressure on my hands. So this may be just a little bit more comfortable because it's not as much weight on my feet. So if the stair from the get-go, say you try to do the isometric and you said, oh, that hurts, you may want to try the wall. Even the further I go down, like if I go from a wall, say to maybe like edge of couch or chair, even here, now there's even less weight on my feet. And I can do the same thing. How's it feel holding this position? How's it feel shifting? How's it feel lifting a leg? So much more weight on my hands, much less weight on my foot equals probably less likelihood of my tendon hurting, right? So those are two things that can be done at home. Third option would be the leg press. So walk this way with me. We have a leg press. So, being the exact same concept. Now the leg press, obviously I can adjust the weight. So, I weigh more than 60 pounds. So with all these things that I'm doing, this is a nice objective way that I can really measure and say, all right, if I follow all the same parameters, holding here, doing my isometrics, and sweeping through my small range, and then going through bigger range, I can say, all right, maybe I can get to, single leg a lot faster here, right? And maybe I can even go through full range, because that weight is a lot lighter than my body. So same thing, if I can do this for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, I can just say, all right, that was fine, and gradually ramp up that weight. As this weight gets heavier, maybe a little closer to what I actually weigh, maybe I can transition back to the stairs. So, sorry for talking so much, but this is really important, and the most important part of it is a little bit's okay in the tendon, right? And I always say a little bit of soreness that goes away within 24 hours with ice and not overdoing it. But for the most part, your goal is less in the tendon, more in the muscle. And the more you stay within those parameters, that muscle will get stronger and that tendon won't have as much pressure on it. So really, really try and follow that. Good luck.